You just pulled the Septimus.
I just pulled a Septimus, so that's, I mean, that's a game changer. I was hoping for a better, like a more specific clan boss game changer, but I'm sure he can be used in some weird stuff too. He's so fun.
I used to use Septimus in my clan boss team.
I have seen that. Oops, all the red dots. Damn it. Okay. So, all right. So my reality is, well, my team that I'm using usually 2 keys magic just fine unless I have a really bad RNG day, and then I sometimes can 2 key when it's force, and then sometimes I can. Well, yeah, that's about it. Usually I 3 key force. Usually I 3 key. I can only 3 key when it's void. I don't hit void in my clan ever for Ultra Nightmare.
Okay. Yeah, same.
And,
same. I used to.
Spirit is just throw a bunch of magic people in there and hope for the best. Because that team because of course the team is, I should probably just go here. We have Duchess Sepulcher, both at a 4-3 ratio. And this is a really tight tune because I have them at very slow speeds for that 4-3 ratio. I have them at 223 and 225, but it's not a true 225. If I hit over that, it goes out of sync. And then I have everyone else between 171 and 175. So I wanted to get Valkyrie in there, but it's impossible with that tight of a tune because she just jumps ahead and does her thing with her passive.
Right.
So we got Duchess, Sepulcher, Rosin, Frozen Banshee, or Occult Brawler, depending on affinity, and then Skull Crusher is my current team. And I understand my reality might be just stick with what you got because there's not anything else more secure unless you're going to hit Void Ultra Nightmare, and that's fine too.
Did you say you're using Rosin?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see your roster again?
Sure. So I have a lot of champions that I've got recently, like Lydia. I'm completely open to using in Clan Boss. Helmet Archmage I've got recently as well. Archmage Helmet.
You don't want to use Helmet.
I mean, I know that's only a Void. I saw your team, but that was a Void dependent, right?
It's very Void dependent. Yeah.
So I don't want that. So I do have Sandlashed I've recently got. I didn't have her before.
Great champion.
I do use Tyrant and Lifesteal gear for trying to work towards soloing Spider. I can do duo with Miscreated Monster, but I can't solo yet. But I would rather not kill him for doing that, but it's possible.
You got
I do have Norog, who's great for a stun target, but that's dependent upon affinity, so...
Keep going down. Keep going down.
All right. We've got... Who else have I got recently? Iron Brago, of course, with the fusion. I have Narma.
Yeah, Narma's great.
Yeah, Archmage. Now Septimus, woohoo! I think I pulled everybody out that would be Clan Boss related from my vault. I think. Right. I did get a Lugan for that. I know he could be an Ally Protect champion too, depending on the comps, but I have plenty of options there.
Bravo.
I don't have like Vizier. I do have Kreela and Longbeard for ally attack. I do have Painkeeper, but that's about as far as I got for a Bat Eater. Just kidding.
Sure.
I wish I could do that. My hopes is, of course, Man-Eaters. It makes it easy, but I would love something a little bit... I just want obviously, like you say it all the time, like a 2-key Ultra Nightmare without an unkillable comp is hard. It's just hard.
It is hard. It's just hard. Okay, well, here's the best part. You have the champions to do it. The champions are not going to be your issue. The question is, really it's going to come down to your gear, what speeds you can make, and how effective you can kit out your champions with that gear wise. So, and then it comes down to choices.
Yeah.
So, like I see. So here's the things that we need. We know we need. And this, I'm saying this obviously, this, but I'm saying this for the chat in general. But we obviously, because we're fighting affinity, we need block debuff, right? Cleanse can work as well, but generally block debuff is going to be safer and more effective for us. You have 2 great champions, Sepulcher Sentinel and Duchess. We also have Valkyrie, who I still feel is the best champion in the game. So yeah, let's use Valkyrie if we can. So we might have to work in some speed tuning to make all this work, but I think we should start with the premise of Valkyrie is going to be in this
That was
team.
my hope.
Right? So those are kind of 2 slots. We need decreased defense and weaken. Looks like the only real option you have for that is Rosin.
I do have Ragnar Gold Gleam. He is a void, so he will.
So it looks like the only real option you have for that is
Rosin. Because he's not good, right? For what is it? His AT.
Ragnar looks great. It's just he's very hard to use on clan boss because of that turn meter boost.
That's
that he gives
right.
himself.
Okay. Yep.
It's not impossible.
I don't want to get that complicated.
But yeah, exactly. So but Rosin's fantastic, and Rosin's going to be better than Ragnar anyway, especially for a non-unkillable team. So I think that's the direction you want to go. We want to try to bring in some poisons, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking Occult Brawler, we're talking Narma, we're talking Frozen Banshee. And then if my math is right, I think the only other thing we need is decreased attack.
Which could be Sepulcher.
Which could be Sepulcher, yes. So those are the 5 spots that we want to do. And if we are able to blend any of those together and open up a new spot, that's when we're going to try and bring in somebody else to keep us alive, right? So with that, we have options. So like if we go with Sepulcher over Duchess, it opens up a lot of things. We can use Sepulcher for decreased attack. He can also be used for that increased defense buff, and he can be used to block debuff. So he's really great for clan boss. Rosin obviously is a mainstay, and Valkyrie's a mainstay. So we got 3 in there, and then we have 2 spots open. We could bring in Narma, and that gives us a backup decreased attack champion. She does give us poisons, though she won't fill up a debuff bar by herself.
That's what I thought. So, she needs like well, she extends, but not everything, which kind of is lame.
Yes, exactly. So she's great, but obviously there's a little bit of balance with that. And that would mean for our last champion, we'd want to bring in somebody that does. Probably somebody that brings in another increased defense buff or an ally protection buff to protect us when Sepulcher doesn't have us fully covered. Or we want to bring in another poisoner, which probably wouldn't be my recommendation.
Yeah.
If we had a Taragi would be an ideal choice. We would get ally protection, and we would be able to get some extra poisons from him, but not so many that it overfills us. So that would be kind of like the other side of things. But I think with what you have, that's probably that doesn't seem like a really great way to go. Another option is we go with double counterattack, right? We could bring in Skull Crusher, right? Regardless of who the poisoner is, right? With Sepulcher, Rosin, and Valkyrie, we have all the main stuff covered.
Yeah.
Right? Decreased attack, decreased defense, and counterattack all covered. So now we just need poisoners, and we have a few options as that goes, and we can maybe even swap those out for affinity. And then it's just about bringing in, something else, either more damage or protection. I generally got to go protection, so we could bring in a Skull Crusher and go double ally attack, and use his counterattack or his ally protection ability to keep everybody alive. We could go with the other options. We could go with what's the name? Virgis, who I saw you have as well.
Yep.
He's wonderful for that, and will reduce some of the speed requirements needed for some of the other champions, which is always a nice little bonus. We basically have one open spot. I think the one I would maybe look at strongest would be using Tyrant. Using him as an ally protection champion and an increased defense champion in conjunction with Sepulcher Sentinel. I think might be the best way to go. Now, he won't cover everybody all the time if we do it right, but he should do enough to keep everybody protected. He has a nice mitigation factor, brings the HP burn. He's a good champion. So that would probably be my recommended tune. Would be Tyrant, Sepulcher, Rosin, Valkyrie, and somebody that does poisons.
Okay.
Whether that's Narma or whether that's Frozen Banshee or Cold Brawler or whoever.
Now, would that be done at your speed tune? That's your affinity-friendly Valkyrie and Sepulcher pairing, where Valkyrie is at like 171, Sepulcher's at 252, and everyone else is at like 80 to 189?
Well, the beautiful part about that is you only have one champion going on a 4-3 ratio, right?
Yeah.
So
she can block all the debuffs?
Exactly. So that would be the tune I would be looking at. So yes. I think it's a long and short of that question.
I just remember that one about, because I remember making sure I watched that video, because that's what I'm like, all right, I got Valkyrie. I know you did a video on the Affinity Friendly. I'm pretty sure that's the tune.
It's funny. I'm actually pulling it up right now to make sure I have it.
Yeah, I think I remember that correctly.
Yeah, Affinity Friendly with a 4/3. It works on Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare.
What about Brutal? I mean, I could throw together a Brutal team. I guess that doesn't matter. I could throw together Bulwark and a few other people and do Brutal with no problem.
Yeah, Brutal shouldn't be hard. Even untuned, if you have Valkyrie in your team.
That's true. They'll stay alive. Fine.
You'll survive 20. You'll survive 20 million pretty easy.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's funny. I do that a lot with my current team. Is I'll just run it into Nightmare and Brutal, and it's not perfectly tuned for either one, but it easily.
The only thing that makes me sad is that Tyrant will not be. Well, you think in a clan boss build I could still get Tyrant to at least be duo with Miscreated Monster?
If you don't want to use Tyrant, you don't have to use Tyrant.
I'm wondering,
that was just a suggestion.
Well, I mean...
Skull Crusher, look, double counterattack is one of the strongest builds.
I don't understand double counterattack unless you're doing to where you're outspeeding the buffs, which I guess Valkyrie makes that happen, right? Is that the problem because of Valkyrie's passive?
It can help with Valkyrie's passive. That definitely, plays a factor in there. But just as importantly, what that can do as well is it allows Skull Crusher to make sure that Sepulchre Sentinel, even though they take a double turn, still gets their counterattack in, which will help make sure decreased attack stays up. So it can be really useful, even in that scenario. So
I guess I didn't see the tunes on those. I haven't looked into the tunes on those. All right, you have those on your website too?
Yeah, they're more general because
that's hard.
It's a much more general range because there's nothing really specific going on with that other than you just want to stagger your counterattacks. That's really the big thing with that. So yeah, I think...
And it's hard because you can't really put Valkyrie's passive into the calculator yet, right? That's something you're working on. Correct.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Another option, if you wanna, continue theorizing here, you could go with Grizzled Jarl to block the debuffs, and you could bring in. I mean, he's not leveled up, but Iron Brago, that increased defense buff of his is 3 turns. He can hit really hard. Really nice champion. That is another future option for you as well. But the idea is
ignore by champion levels and whatever. I feel free to I don't care if they're level 1. I'm willing to work. I want something to work toward that can hopefully improve. So.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think that's he's a great option. Like, he's a wonderful champion. Being able to keep increased defense up for a full fight is really nice.
Yeah.
Just in one champion, that's really, really strong.
So you just kind of, if you're using Valkyrie for clan boss, do you just kind of ignore the accuracy and just go full on?
Yeah, I completely ignore accuracy. I just build all defense and
I had mine.
Try to get that 7K.
Let me see how I have. I think I already have mine built. Let me look at mine real quick. I threw her together just to get her in clan boss. Just excited. I have 66,000 defense, and my get right hull is not maxed yet. So I was going to put my last bits into Valkyrie's defense because Valkyrie's defense.
Well, me neither. Mine's not maxed either.
But I don't quite have her crit rate to 100%, so that could use some work. I did build her with accuracy though, so it's something that I could change. And probably beef some other stats.
So you said you're 3-keying everything, but you're 3-keying everything but blue. You're 2-key, right?
Blue is 2-key, but no, spirit. I'm like a 4 or 5-key. I want to punch things.
oh, that's a problem. Okay, okay. Well, look, let's make sure we get you to a 3-key no matter what.
Yeah, I'm fine. I really want to be... I'm so close on the 2-key for... Okay, actually, here's my other thing. I'm so close on that 2-key for Force to be more consistent. My one other thought of not changing anything would be maybe if I just got Sepulchre's crit rate to 100% and got her in defense boots and got her speed, that might be... Is that enough to push that over the edge if I'm close? Or no?
Oh, I mean, definitely want to get her crit rate to 100%.
Getting that 225 speed without speed boots was the problem.
It's hard. I got you.
But I have like 5,000 defense on her anyway. I mean, I have a lot.
Yeah. I will say that defense seems a little bit on the higher side.
Yeah, it's way too high.
It's not way too high. The more you have, the better. True. Like, here's something a lot of people don't know. The clan boss that stun attack is based completely on the damage is based off your HP levels. So
Yeah, exactly.
it doesn't. So like your HP doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much HP you have, only how much defense you have. So really, the more defense you stack on, the longer you can survive that. I think 4,500 is kind of a break point with an increased defense
That's
buff.
what I thought. Okay.
So it's good to have more. It's just at that level where he's hitting, you're not going to really benefit from that extra 400 right now. So you're probably going to get more benefit out of being able to put speed boots on, and then put crit rate on the build, put more HP into the build, so she survives the AOE's a little better. Would probably be my suggestion, but
So
you have options.
I guess technically Tyrant, Sepulchre, Razum, Valk, Poison build. That would be a little bit more. That'd be a lot more spirit friendly than my current team. So spirit wouldn't be as big of a headache already, just based on those damn affinities. Yeah.
I think we definitely want to. I think you want to build that Sepulchre Valkyrie team.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it really comes down to who do you want that 5th champion to be, and how do you want to use them, because there's multiple ways we can go about using them too, right? Like I think that bringing in Skull Crusher and doing a double counterattack team is really, really strong. There are some caveats to that, right? Like, when are we using Skull Crusher's counterattack ability? Is it going to stay on every? Is Skull Crusher going to get targeted by the stun or not? Those are things that we're going to want to, pay attention to and look at. We could bring in Virtus, and that makes it considerably easier to, kit out and gear up. So that's a possibility as well. We could use.
You mean instead of Tyrant, you're talking that person?
Yeah, because you don't want to use Tyrant. You're using Tyrant for other things. I think that's reasonable too, right? Like, look, I'm
open to it.
yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is, we don't just do clan boss, and Tyrant's not going to be. He's not as look. The only difference maker here, the only one, is Valkyrie. Valkyrie's the one that is like really irreplaceable. Valkyrie and like a Krisk, those are the ones where it's like, look, if I gotta use this for clan boss, or I just don't, But and I would almost always recommend you do. Like, those are the 2 champions. Everybody else, there's a lot of flexibility. That's why I was like, remember when I was starting, I was like, we could use Duchess for this, or we could use Sepulchre for this. Yeah, Duchess might be actually better for this team, because you can bring in a counter attack, another decreased attack champion. You could bring Brago and do what Sepulchre does, but Duchess is so good everywhere. Why waste her on?
That's been one thing. It'd be nice to finally free her up from clan boss and having a slow speed. I mean, not that slow, but it'd be nice to make her faster and let her be a proper arena lead or whatever.
Exactly.
And a little bit better, because she's a little slow for the high Doom Tower levels, but.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of possible ways to go about doing that stuff. So that's why I was like, I think if we can, we should go ahead and try something else, And I think, if you're using Tyrant for stuff, I say that's great. Like, stick with it. I see no issue not to do that.
I mean, I do have Vergus in a perfect solo Scarab King if they ever bring him back, but it's not like I couldn't do him for that temporarily and put the gear back on him, and that's a ways from now. So I guess I could break Vergus if I had to. So what makes Vergus? He has no boots on right now. That's right. I put Mountain King's boots on. His toes are cold. The increased speed buff. So that gets into that plays into the speeds.
So it allows you to gear Sepulchre Sentinel at a considerably slower speed to get them to a 2-1 ratio.
Okay.
That's what Virtus brings, which is, I mean, not inconsiderate.
Oh, so you are talking good at a 2-1 ratio, though. I thought that... 4-3 ratio, right? Yeah.
4-3, yes, 4-3, exactly.
All right. And that is all reflected in the calculator, right?
Yep.
But wait, I can't because Valkyrie's passive, so it's going to be different no matter what, right?
Right.
All right. So
I'm currently trying to figure it out for you,
you?
so you don't have to do... Yeah, so I'll be able to get you a little bit more information on that here in a second, but
I do love Vergus. I just wasn't sure how he'd be for this, because I remember when you did the one Vergus tune, you were like, no, but you could still do better with what you have, so don't worry about building Vergus for this. But this is different now that I have Valkyrie.
I just had somebody the other day. I helped somebody with their team, and I built them the Vergus team, and he started 2-keying Ultra Nightmare. I was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
All right, there's potential here. There's definitely some potential to this. I didn't realize quite how much there was, but there's more than I had realized before. So,
I guess I could always test. Oh no, because if I do the Vergus thing, and I got to change everybody's speed, so I can't just swap him and Skullcrusher out to test which one actually gives me more damage. Yeah, because that would be different speeds because of Vergus's increased speed buff.
Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm trying to see right now where we're at. That's not really what we wanted there. It's a little hard to tune Vergus and Sepulcher with Valkyrie's passive.
Oh yeah, because you're used to knowing what to look for. Well, I mean, it's not in the calculator yet, but you know where she's going to end up.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know that we can do Vergus and Sepulcher with Valkyrie's passive. It's a little problematic. So
all right.
That's.
I thought the only reason to do originally the double counterattack team was if you're doing like a 2-to-1 team where you're just outrunning your buffs.
No, actually, the double counterattack's really good because Skullcrusher is one of the best champions in this game, and the reason has very little to do with that counterattack ability. It has to do with that ally protection. Yeah. He puts unkillable on himself, so it's like like the best ally protection in this game. It's not the best, but it's very good. And he's just phenomenal at that. So there's a lot to like about using Skullcrusher for these kinds of teams. So that's why that's the big reason. Back in the day, before we had all these unkillable, before the calculator was out, that was like one of the premier teams, was the double counterattack team. Valkyrie and Skullcrusher, crushing people together, because you get that ally protection for the AoEs, and you get the shield from Valkyrie, and it's tough to beat. Like, really, when it comes right down to it.
This is. Oh, come on, there we go. Oh wait, that's not it. 2 fast champions. We only need 1 fast champion. Affinity friendly Valkyrie 4-3 ratio. Oh yeah, okay, it wasn't quite. It was 185 to 188. Okay. Oh, this was not what I remember seeing. The speeds were different in the video. Oh, I guess it's close. Like, this probably has a little bit of flexibility.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of times when I put the speeds up there, it's what
worked for that.
Well, it's usually what's easiest for people to do. Like, what's the safest speed, right? So, like, if it's 150, let's say the range is 149 to 157, I'll stick it in the middle. Because I want to make sure that if you're doing this, you're going to, a lot of people screw it up. They don't read everything. So it's like, at least this way, there's a little bit more leeway for folks.
Like my team comp, I had Skullcrusher at 171, but it wasn't a true 171, so it wasn't working. Because because I had him in a speed setter, or I had a Laura Steel on.
Exactly.
So, sometimes
it's the lowest speeds.
Yeah.
Like 171 is the lowest, but
you got to make sure it's a true 171.
I think in this build, 251 is the lowest speed. I think where this one is. So you can go a little bit higher, but you just don't want to go lower.
All right. Yeah, I remember. I think I saw in the video was 252, and then I think you were playing around with these. It might have even went as low as 180, but I guess not. You would have put lower, wouldn't you? If it was safe.
Think this works for both Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare.
Okay, maybe. Oh yeah, maybe it wouldn't have worked if it was a little bit lower.
It's very possible that there's more restriction as you go different difficulties.
Okay. This is actually good because if I didn't have you on, this is what I was going to do, was do this comp, but I probably wouldn't have chose Skullcrusher as the option, because I really thought, like, I didn't understand double counterattack, because I was like, but he keeps counterattack up all the time.
Who would you have gone with instead?
I don't know. That was the question, I guess. That was the question. I was actually going to get Duchess out of the lineup. What was I actually wrote down what team I was going to do, and now I don't remember. Maybe Tyrant, actually. I think I was going to do Tyrant, because that was before I even had him built. Yeah, Tyrant. Tyrant was who I think I was going to put in.
I mean, look, if to be real, Tyrant would be my recommendation.
Yeah. I think, you think I could still do, if I slowed him down a little bit and still had him with solid defense and HP.
You're not going to be able to solo.
Not solo, but duo with Miscreated Monster.
Oh, yeah.
I do duo right now because the solo is not 100%. So I just do duo and I farm 3 people overnight, and then they're level 40 when I wake up, and yay. So if that's... I'm willing to do Tyrant as long as I could still duo with Miscreated Monster.
I mean, I imagine so.
Yeah, because it wouldn't change the build that much. I would just make him a little slower.
And
then I would just push crit rate, right? Is he crit? Make him crit too?
Yeah. I mean, for clan boss?
For clan boss,
everybody.
for sure. Yeah, that's true. Well, except for Frozen
yeah.
Banshee, right?
Yeah, Frozen Banshee is just a waste. That's true.
Frozen Banshee, and I don't think I have a Cult Brawler either because he's a little squishy.
You have him down there.
I mean, I don't think I have him with crit.
Built up, yeah.
Should
He can hit hard, but yes, he's harder to get the crit rate on for sure.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Because his HP is really low, actually. Or his defense is pretty low.
It's one of the things actually Narma's really good at, is because she can hit hard.
I have a Narma, I just don't have the books for her. Freaking hell.
Yeah, it's not worth it without the books. Plus, I don't think she's great as a solo poisoner.
Yeah.
But, the person I'd pair Narma with would be Steel Skull. I think that's a wonderful combination.
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
So, but there's options. Like, look, if you have Valkyrie and you have increased defense and you have decent defensive levels, you should be able to 2-key Ultra Nightmare eventually. It's obviously gear dependent, but, like, that's the threshold, right? Like, I was able to do it a long time ago using... Like, you have almost the same team I used to have, right? Like, you could do it with Steel Skull and Septimus. Sepulchre, Sentinel, and Rosin. Like that, I literally used to run that team as a 2-key Ultra Nightmare team.
Yeah.
So, like, you have the champions for it. Now it's really about just gearing and making choices on how you want to go about it. Now, one of the ways that's going to be best is just having increased defense on everybody. That's going to have a massive impact on your team. And so there is
Tyrant and Sepulchre keeps it up the whole time.
If Sepulchre did, it'd be fantastic, right? But
Both
he
of those
doesn't,
together.
Unfortunately.
No, Tyrant and Sepulchre together would keep that up the whole
Tyrant
time.
and Sepulchre. Yep, exactly. That's why Tyrant.
So then I would
be so
just pretty
good.
much time Tyrant to go. Well, yeah, because Sepulchre is going to be at 4-3 ratio, so I just time his.
So the way you
differently.
time it is you'd have Valkyrie slowest, Tyrant would go next.
Oh yeah, let's look at this. So
like if you go in order.
yeah, like of this. Like who would be the 189? A Rosin to put decreased defense and weaken.
So you'd have exactly. If you can, he's hard to get the speeds up, but you try to have Rosin at 189.
Oh,
you'd have your Poisoner at the next level, and then you'd have Tyrant going right before Valkyrie. And so the ideal thing, it's still not ideal, but what you'd end up doing is you'd have Valkyrie going last, putting up counterattack in the shield. You'd have Tyrant using that increased defense and that ally protection ability right before that first AoE, so it carries through. And then you'd have Sepulchre doing it for putting up their increased defense and block debuffs for the second AoE.
Okay.
That means you'd have ally protection for the first AoE for both Rosin and your Poisoner, and for everybody on the first AoE. On the second AoE, just for Rosin and your Poisoner, which isn't ideal, but it does allow you to build your Poisoner a lot squishier than you would otherwise.
Okay, that's interesting.
So that's like the flip side of that. So like if you ever got a Draco, that's a perfect way to build it with a Draco because Draco's hard to build with attack and defense. And that way you're able to build more attack on it because you have ally protection.
He can hit hard, yeah.
Exactly. Like there's so many ways to go about doing this, right? We could bring in a Godseeker Aniri, we could bring in the Sandlash and have Sepulchre Sentinel do their, increased defense and block debuffs before the AoEs. I mean, that's great too, and we just extend it through to keep us unkillable. But I mean, I think that with this team, your best bet is to try to use Tyrant.
Okay.
Your next best bet would be to, I think, probably bring in Skull Crusher or, some kind of ally protection champion. Or Iron Brago's a fantastic choice if you don't have the books for him. But even without the books, actually, he's still a pretty great choice because he has that long increased defense debuff, or buff, I should say. He'll help supplement Sepulchre Sentinel's decreased attack ability. And he gives you that defensive bonus to the rest of your allies, which is really nice too. So like that's a good option there.
Do you think
you could even
steal? I could build Iron Brago and Tyrant at the same speed to just sub in based on affinity and kind of play around. You mean Iron Brago instead of Tyrant, right?
Yeah, but that's the other great thing about this team. You have options, right? You're not
Yeah.
stuck having only one champion at a certain speed. Like you can really mix it up and match it up, and try different stuff out.
I don't mind
Depending on.
building extra people just based on affinity for something like that. Like that fifth spot, if I have 3 people at each affinity ready to sub in depending on what it is, I'm fine with that too.
Well, the other thing too is like you'll start to see, okay, what's working better, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
ally protection is working good, or where are we dying? Oh, so Poker's always dying in that second AOE. That's where I gotta fix that issue. So how do I do to fix that? Or
Okay.
different things along those lines. That would be one of the great things about using Duchess instead of Sepulcher. Duchess does bring that veil with her, which
Yeah,
helps
I should
keep
make
everybody
sure
alive.
that she's the one taking the stun, hit smash.
It's both those things are true. That's really nice, right? But there's like I said, there's options.
Yeah.
So you want to try. I think for you with your team, you're trying to do a bunch of other stuff. You're obviously on stream, right? So you're running different champions and stuff like that. I think the best bet is to run. I think you want to run Sepulcher, Rosin, Valkyrie, and then we want to just choose a poisoner, and then a third champion to supplement that. I would think maybe what we do is we start with Tyrant,
Okay.
see where we go.
Yeah.
And then, at the very worst, you can always run Drexstar with Miscreated Monster, and you can, do the spiders pretty easy too. So
Now, what about this? Wait, well, no, we're gonna have to worry about the stun because Sepulcher's gonna block the stun and that. Okay, so the smash is
Exactly.
gonna go to
it doesn't
Sepulcher
matter.
or yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter because they'll be able to handle it because
Mhm.
shields. Well, no, her
Mhm.
shields will be off by that point, but we'll at least have increased defense up.
We'll have increased defense up. We'll have
Ally protect.
block debuff.
No, not that
So
one
you'll
yet.
be fine there.
Okay.
I mean that's So
yeah,
either
the
way you do
okay,
that.
okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true because depending on the time. All right, I got it. Woo.
Mhm.
That's cool. So
Exciting.
that literally, yeah, I think that would have been the team I would have done. Actually, I would have put Tyrant in her place, and Duchess's place, and Valkyrie
Yeah.
in Skullcrusher's place. Okay, that's fun. I guess I can keep. I'll just keep Skullcrusher at where he. Well, no, I'm gonna have to steal all his gear. He has good gear. Dang it. I'll say I could keep Skullcrusher for Brutal, but I can rebuild him for Brutal. That's fine. I try to do all 3
Skullcrusher?
every day, but I don't always.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you have 4 keys in
Yeah.
a day, so
I
if
try
we're
to
3
do-
keying Ultra Nightmare, you really only have one extra
Well, I
key
don't
to
wa-
try a Nightmare out.
Well, no, I mean, if I can only 3-key Ultra Nightmare with this team, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I want, because I can 2-key, and I don't want to ruin that 2-key.
So you want to push it to that next level, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think really like that's. I think this is
okay.
a way to do that.
Yeah, I think if I have one affinity that I 3-key, okay, fine. But if it's like if I'm back to the same point I'm at now, where only one affinity I can 2-key, then I'm like, then why did I don't want to rebuild it. You know what I mean?
Well, you're not. You shouldn't be losing any damage, right?
Okay.
That just isn't a huge damage.
No,
dealer
she isn't
for you,
damaged. That's very true. It's just
right?
the sustain.
And so, and that's literally who we're replacing.
Yeah,
So.
that's very true.
Yeah, you should be in good shape, I think.
Okay.
And this should keep you more affinity friendly. Hopefully, that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yay.
Yeah, but let's before we since you are close, let's look at your champions and like make sure we're maximizing what we can get out of them.
Well, I'm gonna have to
Because-
change speeds on everybody, so gear's gonna change. Because my
Sure.
speeds are not close at all. Because I'm
Where are we on speeds with you right now?
Sepulcher is only at 225. Yeah. And Rosin is at Rosin, is at 175. Yeah, he's slow, really slow.
Okay.
Valkyrie is the only person I already have built, so I could probably leave her build, except I should get this crit rate up. Should I leave my Valkyrie build?
Don't worry about Valkyrie. Like,
Okay.
all you got to worry about with Valkyrie is defense.
Yeah. And that's
Her job is to keep everybody else alive. So as long as the defense is stat, you're good, right?
I know a lot of people like aim for 7,000. I'm trying to do that myself. But that's okay. Is that enough, you think, for 2-key being at where I'm at right now?
Great number.
Okay.
That's a great number. I think you're in good shape. I think eventually, you can bump that higher.
And I could
right?
probably sacrifice the accuracy. I don't need an accuracy banner on her for clan boss, so I could push it a
Exactly.
little more with that alone.
Yep.
Although I don't want to get any the times that you don't want speed on a banner.
No. Speed is good because if you put speed on her banner, that means you can take speed off of her build somewhere else.
That's true.
And further push the defense.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh,
I might get lucky. I could get two. If I get two rolls on defense, that'd be great.
What was the purple one? What was the purple one?
Speed, defense, attack. That could get three. Yeah, that could get 3 rolls.
If it gets triple, look, as long as it's defense or speed, that's like
that's true.
Perfect right there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
push.
I guarantee you have speed on your shield, and if you have speed on your shield, that means you can replace it with something better.
With defense, with more defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like same thing probably with your helmet as well. So like that,
Yep.
those are the ways I would be looking.
Okay.
To improve this, because those are pieces I'd rather have on my rosin.
I had a triple speed. That was a nice one.
That's lovely. Sexy piece right there. Sexy piece. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, like you have a pretty solid build right there. Already.
The problem now, like my rosin is crit damage gloves, although only 5-star because I don't have good 6-star ones right now. Triple crit rate on this. That was so good. Defense boots. So he's built well, but at that speed, so I don't. I'm gonna have to sacrifice a bit. Well, maybe
he's
not.
hard to do.
It depends.
Do you have any banners with more speed? Is really where you want to start.
Yeah, I'm using a crappy banner. I haven't changed his. What did I have? Accuracy banner. Oh God, yeah. I haven't changed his banner in a long time. Probably because the speed was where it needed to be, and I just left it the way it is. That's
just
the
for the chat
part.
in general. The easiest way to improve your team is to get better jewelry.
Oh yeah, I've been farming spider constantly.
You're gonna want accuracy. I'm pretty
Oops,
positive.
why did I hit? Because we're thinking Valkyrie. Okay, I have. That's got double defense and speed. You can't ask for better there. Oh yeah, that'll. Well, I guess triple speed might be nice. That's crappy. Don't need attack on him. Flat attack. Yeah, this is probably.
That's probably your Huckleberry right there.
Yeah. Okay. That'll.
That's a nice piece. That's
right.
a nice piece.
And here's my problem right now too, which like I know I'm not at the position to do this like today because this is how much glyphs I have. Not much.
Yeah.
So
it's okay.
I mean, I could get lucky if I can tune it just right. I mean, that's what the optimizer's for too, right?
Can you show me his full set of gear?
Oh, rosin?
Yeah.
He I mean, that obviously has room for improvement just being a 5-star blue.
That can be replaced.
Yeah, it might be the.
You can replace.
Okay.
Look, you can put Valkyrie's gear on rosin and probably get to the speed you need. Right now.
Yeah.
I would in fact, I'll tell you, what I would do right now. So like you have that. This actually, I've been very impressed with their fitting room.
Yeah, I love that.
I use that
I love
all
that.
the time. But I bet you if you switch that banner, you can find a weapon and you can take Valkyrie's helmet. And you can get rosin not only to 100% crit rate, but to that 187 speed.
Okay. Okay, I think should I just accept this?
I mean, it's pretty solid. It's just is that what you want to? Do you want to build it or not? Like, can you build it now?
Oh right, can I build it right now? No, is the answer.
Well, here's another question too, because everything's kind of timed perfectly. With what
I
you have
can't do that right now until I'm ready to do all of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the consideration you want to
Okay.
make. But it's good to know that you can build rosin, right? You can build rosin to what you want. He's one of the hardest champions to build because he's such a low base speed. It's very hard to get him to this kind of level and keep his defense and keep his crit rate and crit damage. So you already know you can do that. That's wonderful, right? You're already in great shape. So now it's just about what's the next step, right? You want to look at your other champions, go, okay, can we get these people up there? Because you need 3 champions at this speed. Most importantly, you need Sepulchre at 252.
The other two can be as low as 185, right? So that's pretty high.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty high when people have defense boots on.
That's the thing. Now, one of them is going to be covered by an ally protection, so it's not as crucial. But the other one needs to be the ally protector, which becomes very crucial.
Fair.
So that can be a little bit harder. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, Tyrant ally protector. I already have he's got some really good gear on because I was pushing him for that nightmare build. So he probably won't. Or sorry, spider build. So he'll probably only need a few tweaks.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is one of the good things about using a Skull Crusher for this team is he has that unkillable ability for himself, and the And because of the block debuffs from Sepulcher, even if you get stunned, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right? So like there is some
I mean, I
benefits
could always see if I could swap out a couple pieces with Skull Crusher to test the damage between the two and just see what happens. Could always test it. There's flexibility
exactly.
there. Yeah, like you said, it's good that there's spots that we could easily swap out, because then affinity changes aren't as big of a deal.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'd rather not worry about someone like Vergus where, okay, now I have to change everyone's speeds based on that one increased speed debuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely makes it...
I know it makes it easier to gear them, but then if I want to test someone else in his place, I can't. Alright. Cool. Yay.
So,
yay.
I just want to make sure this is right. Yeah, this syncs up pretty quick. Yeah, it syncs up almost immediately too on Ultra Nightmare. It's really nice. Really nice theme.
Oh yeah, so I'd have to look at the delays and all that. Alright.
It's literally a 1-turn delay on Sepulcher and you're good to go.
Oh really? Nice.
It's really good.
That's
it blocks
easier.
it all right from the get-go. It works really nicely. So you do want Sepulcher at 251. It's pretty specific. You can have speed sets, you can have all that stuff, but you really want that 251. 252's it'll work, but it's a little too fast and can kind of cause some stun issues.
Okay.
But yeah, so like that's one of the so I was telling you, like Skull Crusher's really good, and one of the reasons why is because he does that for the second AOE. He'll put ally protection on everybody, but he also has unkillable for himself. So it doesn't matter. Like there's no chance of him dying during that second AOE, which is the strong part of that. If you use Tyrant, obviously he's going to be able to give you ally protection, but not for that second AOE in order to keep the increased defense buff on everybody. So that's the trade-off with those champions that you just want to kind of be aware of as far as like who am I going to use when, where, and all that stuff. So you can, I think playing around with that should kind of inform a lot about like what's going to be best and what's not. So yeah, that's the flip side of those two builds.
I could finally build my Lydia. She's been left naked.
Dude, I use Lydia everywhere. She was one of my 4 most used champions.
I know, I wasn't sure if we were going to push for like a 2-to-1 team with clan boss and all that, but I just, maybe if I had a Krisk or something, but
Yeah, I find 2-1 teams are incredibly good. They're also really hard, and they tend to use some of my best champions. And so I don't usually push for that. Now, like Batman teams are great because you're using non-optimal champions.
Yeah, you're not going to use them anywhere else.
Anything, right? So that's one of the reasons why those teams really work. But when you're going 2-1 with champions like Lydia, Sandlash, they can work great. It's just a little bit trickier because, I don't know. It's just not always as efficient, I guess is the best way to put it, right?
But thank you for coming on. I didn't mean to take too much of your time, but I appreciate it. It was fun.
What time is it? Oh, it's barely been an hour.
Oh,
You're
really?
good.
Oh, I don't know what time. That's not bad. Awesome.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. I think, it's barely been an hour.
Good.
So you're fine. Yeah. I'm excited about seeing this team and how it performs going forward.
Yeah, I'll have to wait. I guess I don't know what I have to wait for. Maybe I could try to build it soon. It would just, I don't know, I probably want a little more silver to roll up some of my gear.
What do you have right now?
I have 11 million.
Silver?
It's all right, but
You want to go to the fitting room and see if you can gear up Sepulcher? That's really the
test?
The barrier to the team.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I don't know that I can get her at 100% crit rate. Not that I have her at it now, anyway. Yeah.
Well, let's try it. Let's do that fitting room and see what we can't do.
All right. So, oh wait, my brain just went. Oh wait, I have to unlock the champions in the optimizer. No, I don't. I'm not using the damn optimizer. I only use it every once in a while. It's kind of, sometimes I find it more frustrating than helpful. It's a little bit of both. I love it, but then sometimes I'm like, just let me just do it in the fitting room.
I find it incredibly good if you have your gear rolled.
Yeah, I don't have most of my. That's my problem. I have a lot not rolled, and I'm working on it slowly. But until I get to where most of my main gear is rolled, I'm kind of not using it too much.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So we need speed boots and we need crit rate gloves.
Wait, hold on. Let's see. What is she in right now? She's in speed boots now. They're pretty meh, but they are 6-star.
Okay.
We do want crit rate gloves. Oh, that's gonna be so hard to push. Oh, right, because my defense is too high anyway. That's right. So maybe that will be an option of where I didn't have
subset speed. By the way,
Oops.
subset speed in all of this.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be super important.
Hackhorns is here.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that was on before.
So that would take us to 247.
With potential to glyph.
With potential to glyph. Your accuracy's trash now, however, which is.
Oh shit.
So yeah, these are like all. There's so many like considerations when you're trying to do these things. It's very frustrating. But you know what this tells us, though. This tells us that we can get to the speed.
Yeah, I just need to.
That's the important part.
I probably need to roll up some of that other lifesteal gear that I got that has accuracy on it and see if we can get lucky.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, we can always just not go with crit rate gloves too.
That's true too. Yeah, if we have to, at least in the meantime, until I get a better pair with the right speed or whatever.
Exactly. But
although
this is pretty close.
Okay.
This is pretty close to what you want right there.
That's
so
fine.
like you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, also you should check your banners, right? If you have a banner with more speed.
Right. Oh, I have a
huge.
defense banner on her. I don't even have an accuracy banner on her.
What?
So we're fine. Because I had the right speed with, or what? I had the right accuracy without needing a defense accuracy banner. So that's possible. We should be good then.
There you go.
Okay.
So it's a team you can build for sure.
For sure.
You know.
And that was really close. That was great. All right, I can remember those. That'll be easy. Although not that I mean,
well, I mean,
who
at
knows?
this point too, you can always use the optimizer, and that's going to benefit you greatly too, right? It's going to show you some pieces that maybe you're missing, and really be able to let you shine out a little bit more.
I probably should level up some more of my. I'll make sure all my speed gear is leveled up till 12 at least, and my lifesteal gear, and possibly some accuracy stuff, because sometimes you just need that. But
well, for the other champions, you know that perception stuff's great, right?
Yeah, I love it. You're right, accuracy or perception. I mean, kind of goes hand in hand now. It's so much better. Awesome.
It really is. Really
yeah,
is.
so I feel better knowing that I can probably get there, but then it's like taking from Valkyrie's like, God darn it.
Happens a lot.
Alrighty. Yay, I'm so excited.
That was awesome.
It's a good day. It's a very good day.
It is a good day.
Gotta say
Look, you got the bare bones of a good clan boss team coming, right? I got 2 new champions. I think I made out better than you did in this, but hey, you know, it works out.
No, it is fun. I'm really happy to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed. Always a pleasure. Well, that was fun. That was exciting. Feeling good. I don't know what's next. Well, thank you.
There we go. Make sure you guys are following.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, should we pop off now? Are you good?
I think it's probably good.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys,
thank
you so much for having me. Ivy, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm glad everybody showed up today. It was really cool. I'm excited to see how your clan boss team performs.
I'll let you know when I'll be building it on stream, of course. Why not? So I'll make sure I let you know when it's complete.
Okay.
Or I'll post in your Discord. That's a fun place to look, guys, too, because if you're in his Discord, you can actually see like other successful comps, and that's ways I've gotten ideas for comps is by looking at other people's successful comps. It's kind of fun to just see what other people do, and then you can message them and ask them if they have the speed tune. It happens all the time. There's like one particular one that I was considered doing. Oops, I messed up the thing, didn't I? Shoot. Of course I did. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I messed up the thing. There we go. Nope. It's okay. I'm just gonna turn it off.
we can go all voice at this point. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's fun. Alrighty, thank you.
So my pleasure, Ivy. If you have any questions, always, just hit me up. Let me know.
Okay.
And I don't know. When you build this team, maybe pop on stream. We'll do a little showcase of it.
Okay, sounds good. Oh yeah, pop on yours. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
See how it looks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool. My pleasure. Thanks for pulling me some awesome new champs.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care.